Hello, my name's Linda. I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today I'm making a card for a man. It's going to be quite a small card. It's only 5x4, and hopefully it's going to be quite speedy. So I'm starting with a piece of soft sea foam. So I've chosen this colour because I think it goes nicely with the paper. I believe this is Tropical Chic, the designer series paper, but I'm not 100% sure. And this is 10 inches, 4 inches, or 25.5 by 10.5 centimetres. And I'm going to start with this, and we're going to do some scoring. So putting this in with the long side at the top, we're just going to score at 5 inches. So we just want to be able to fold that in half, and that is going to be the base of our card. The next thing you want to do is just turn it around this way, and we're going to measure on the front of the card 1 1/8 of an inch, and then just put a very light line across there. So once you have your pencil line in, and I did have to redo mine because I wasn't wearing my glasses and I made it a little bit ski-whiff, I'm going to talk about the pieces of DSP that I've cut out ready. So the largest piece is 4 by 5 inches or 10 by 12.7 centimetres. And then I have two little pieces here. On these are 2 1/4 by 1 1/2 or 5.7 by 3.8 centimetres. And then using one of these dies, I've cut out this shape. You don't need this, so it's going to be a little pocket for the front of the t-shirt. And this die is from the Stitched Nested Label dies. You could just cut a little square if you want to put a pocket on there. And I've also used this die to go along the bottom of my sleeves and the bottom of my t-shirt, the top of my t-shirt. And this is from the Stitched Label Framelit dies. These are actually one of my favourite die sets. I believe these are retiring. If you don't have any of the stitch dies, you could actually draw the stitches in with a black pen or a white pen. So we're going to start with our sleeves. So we make sure you've got your picture up the right way, if you've got a picture on your paper. So I want this corner to be in this corner, and then that corner needs to be lined up with our pencil line. And so it's going to be like sticking out a bit like that, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. And so I'm just going to glue these down like this. I'm just running a bit of snail glue down there. And we now have our sleeves in, and then this one is going to go on the top, so I'm going to stick that on now. I'm going to use a little bit of wet glue or Tombow. I'm just going to cut this in half. And that's going to make a little pocket. But before I stick this on, I want to do a neck in the top of my card. I'm going to be using one of the Stitched Shape framelits just to cut the neck out. Unfortunately, the stitching doesn't stay where you cut the neck out, but I don't have any dies that do that. And I want to line this up in the centre, and then I'm going to cut through both layers, so the front and the back of the card. So I'm going to take that over to my Big Shot and do that now. I've run this through my Big Shot, and as you can see, this piece has come out here. What I had to do was run it through a few times and then unflap this piece and put my die back down again to do the back piece. It did move a tiny bit, as you can see. I did get a little bit of movement there, but to neaten up the edge, I just run a bit of sandpaper, very fine sandpaper around the edge, and that's all nice and neat now. So I'm reasonably happy with that. I want to stick my little pocket on next. On the inside of my card I cut a piece of Whisper White, so we have somewhere to write, and you do get a few marks where you run this through your Big Shot. I'm not worried about that, but if you are a little bit fussy that might annoy you. And I can't actually tell you what size this is, but I mean I've cut it about 3 3/4 this way, but depending on the size of your neck hole, it depends on how long that one's going to be. So I'm going to actually stamp my sentiment on here. I'm going to be using Happy Birthday from the Label Me Bold. And I'm just going to position this inside. You could actually make an envelope to fit this card, but what I have done is I've just folded my sleeves over. So when the card goes into the envelope, it's like this, and when they receive the card, they can open it up, and it was going to stand like this. This has endless possibilities. You could use different designer series paper, you could stamp messages on the front. It's really quite an easy card to make. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.